Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is not Tuesday, it is Wednesday, and you know what we do on Wednesdays nights? We're talking the new season 4, Cobra Kai. And the man coming back down the rabbit hole with me is the one, the only Snap Z. Good, brother.
Man, what's up? I am stoked to talk about this episode. Hopefully, I'm coming through because you are glitchy. So it seems like
already? Yep, there it is.
But yeah, it's such great. Like we were saying before, such good Johnny-isms in this episode. I'm stoked, and we get a new character.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, when this opened up, I was like, did I click on the right show? Like for the first couple of minutes, I was like, am I watching Cobra Kai? I was off for a minute, and then it said Cobra Kai. I was like, oh, here we go, new character. Yep. Yeah, this is wild. And like I was saying, you know, like we were just talking in the background, it's like, this may be my very favorite show right now. Like it is just everything I need and more, just all the Johnny-isms, all the just callback to the 80s and just the ridiculousness of it all. Like the way they film this show is absolutely epic.
Oh yeah, and this episode specifically, it's like it just shows that they're gonna keep this is like a life cycle of people, right? Like we've seen with this new kid. It's essentially the Karate Kid, and it's essentially the beginning of Cobra Kai, right?
Dude, it's the exact same thing, just exactly like you said, like the wheel of time just cycling through.
Right.
Oh, it's absolutely epic.
Dude,
and you didn't realize it when you're watching it. You're like, wait a minute, this is the same story regurgitated with different characters. Like, but it's flipped. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it, but that's amazing.
Yo, since we're opening with that kid, was the was the colonel? Wait, I think it's not a colonel. Whatever. Lieutenant Colonel. Was that his dad?
Yeah.
He needs to get a DNA test because that kid's definitely Anthony Davis's son.
He looks just like him. Oh man,
yeah. When the episode started, in his eye, it was like this. He had the unibrow looking thing. I was like, oh shit, that's Anthony Davis's son.
You know, what's up, Jay Cruz? I see you out there. Oh, time for Cobra Kai. What'd you think of this episode? Like I was just saying, absolutely epic, and it reminded me of just how much I actually love this series. I'm all in, everything all about it. It's amazing. But not speaking of amazing, the way that kid was dancing with all the TikTok of today, that kid would have been looked at like a superstar and an influencer, like with all those moves, not some nerdy dork. So like maybe back in the 80s, they would have picked on him for that. But these days it was pretty much on trend. But even the girls were laughing at him. What was up with that?
I think it's that the tribe mentality. Those kids are like the cool kids. So if they laugh at them, then everybody else is going to.
That's crazy. You're riding the bus. You're that old and you're riding the bus to school. You're not one of the cool kids. Come on.
Dude, I was like, no. They're not that old. The Russo's son.
What, old enough to not be riding the bus. And that's the other thing.
What are they doing?
What's that?
That's what I was going to say. Like, LaRusso probably wouldn't be. But how old do you think they are?
I would think he was old enough to drive, maybe. I mean, he's got to be about 16. But even if they're only like 14 or whatever, LaRusso's the kind of kid that would just be calling in a car service to get to to school. He wouldn't be riding that bus.
True. You ain't wrong about that.
Oh, it's crazy. Oh, Jake says cool kids were different when I was young. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was just crazy. I was like, dude, with all the TikTok and stuff going on today, like dancing's where it's at. They wouldn't have made fun for them. They would have been trying to learn them moves. But before that kid said, good one, LaRusso, did you even realize that was Daniel's kid?
No.
Me either. I couldn't even recognize him. He looks way different.
Yeah. I was like, damn, like that's the same kid? Is it the same actor?
That's what I'm wondering. I almost want to go back and look. I mean, you look at his face, and I think it is actually the same actor. He's just lost a lot of weight. He got rid of those pudgy little he got rid of that freshman 50. Good. But then we get back to our main characters, and Daniel comes out the door just all Daniel style, basically like skipping and whistling with his little hand sanders on. And he was just a little too happy about being able to make kids sand by hand for their new platform, don't you think?
Right. Like Like Johnny comes out. That's like another one of his. Like, you ain't got to trick him into doing chores. Like that shit. That had me cracking up.
Oh,
Like, and
Johnny,
he was just so stoked about it. He's like, dude, I got this smooth as a Smurf's butt. Like,
dude, that was amazing. It was great. He's just always the practical one. Like he just grabs an industrial sander and just knocks it out in the morning. Like Daniel's just like, you just killed my whole week. It's like, come on, man.
right. And that this kind of like what we were talking about in season 1. Like he would know how to do certain things. Like he would have that skill set for that kind of thing. And it comes back around later. Like,
yeah, they found a way to work it into the show. It was amazing.
right. That was funny. I'm like, oh, he would fucking be so proud of it. Hey, this is finally something I know how to do, and I can do this awesomely. Watch this. He's like,
And
check
got
this
there
out.
early, like showed up early to knock it out. Like, oh,
Right.
Everything about that was so great. And Daniel's just, dude, these two are so perfect together. And did you notice Johnny said like he got there early? It was so bright and early when he was there, and he already had a beer cracked next to his stuff.
Yeah.
Just waking up with the breakfast of champions.
Right. That's awesome, man.
Dude, it's so Johnny. I mean, just the little stuff. I love it. And as usual, Daniel's like crying, telling Johnny he had to respect Miyagi-Do. But wasn't Johnny right on calling him out, telling him that respect is a two-way street?
Right. And you know how I feel about Daniel. Fuck Daniel. Like always thinking he's better than everybody else. You too good for gas station food. Get out of here.
Like I said, I'm always going to stick on Daniel's side in that one. That's awful. Oh, he was also right in saying like some kids need a little aggression. Like he's usually so wrong on how he goes about it, but Johnny's core principles are pretty spot on.
Right. And like we've been saying that this whole time. Like there's certain kids that just like Miyagi-Do probably wouldn't have helped. Like there's just certain ones that they would have just been silent nerds. Right. Because before it wasn't like they were getting beat up all the time. It was just like they were getting picked on in school. It was Johnny that was like, dude, okay, you don't want to be the kid that's picked on in school. Fucking beat him up. And that's what he did.
First and show some aggression. Like he said, some kids need some aggression, and he's spot on about that.
Right. And I think that's going to come around like maybe what's her name is going to start to like Cobra Kai's methodology. Or, well, Eagle Fangs.
Who's gonna? Sam.
That's
because she knows like prediction. I need to learn how to strike first and not just be about this circling around and not doing anything. Come on, let's do something. Johnny, dude, he's so amazing. So the two decide they need to try harder on resolving their differences, and they choose to try to learn each other's disciplines. And we know this is going to be a problem. Like I can't wait to see these two go at it and try to teach each other's style. Like that's fantastic.
And I like how they did it too. They didn't spend very much time on Miyagi-Do, which makes sense. You had like multiple movies about it, a TV show. Like we know how that works. It's good to spend most of your time on the other.
Plus, so Jake says Ralph Macchio named his kid Daniel. That makes sense. I believe it. The thing that made him famous. Why wouldn't he?
Right.
That's more of a junior than naming him after himself. I would believe it. So next we see that Amanda has decided to pay Tori a little visit at her job. And do you think that was a smart move? Like Tori did try to kick in her front door. So, I mean, didn't try. She did kick in her front door. So I don't know. What do you think about Amanda going to her work to talk to her and confront her?
That seems like a reasonable something. Like she's just going there. Maybe don't do it like a supervillain, but like go there where has to be, yeah, where she has to be like reasonable. This is her job, her money's at stake, so she's not gonna flip out. Like it's like how people have meetings in a public place. Yeah, like she's not gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, that's a safe place to do it because there's people around. Jay Cruz looked it up and said it's the same kid. Yeah, I thought so. You look in his face, you can kind of see that chubby little younger kid. He's just kind of grown up and, like I said, grown into that freshman 50.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it later, but he definitely he's going to grow another mile. That kid is going to be a monster.
Yeah, he's going to be tall. Absolutely. Yeah, well, she's still flipped out because she's absolutely psycho, dude. There's nothing normal about Tori. That girl's crazy. We established that early on. She cray. But did you feel bad for her losing her job like Amanda did instantly? You think she should have?
No, she didn't make her flip out. She just was like, "Hey, leave my daughter alone." Whatever. She gonna be like, "Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I fucking kicked in your door and shit and like attacked your house. My bad. Like I shouldn't
Especially
have
when
done
she
that."
says the only reason you're not in jail is because my daughter said not to put you in jail and not to drag it out. Like, you're lucky you're not in jail, but you touch one hair on her head and you will be scrubbing toilets in prison for the rest of your life. Like, she
Right.
was letting her know. And that's what a mama should. Even Crease agreed. Like, that's what a mama should do. You got to stick up for your daughter. But I don't know. That was kind of crazy. But then again, I mean, the reason Tori got fired wasn't just for this instance. I mean, that manager said, "I'm sick of your attitude," which means she's been messing up for a while. And this was like a last straw type of deal.
Well, she clearly has an attitude. And technically, it was the guy asking about his dang soup. And I have a gripe with this. 100% that was not, if we're doing this realistically, I realize this is a TV show. Men never complain about their food. It's always their wives that do it. So there would have been hey, get him, he's hungry. Get him his soup. And he would have had his head down like this. That's what I do. Katina
No,
would be like,
maybe, but I don't know. Some of those dudes out there just want to be heard. They're dealing with it
my
all day
wife
long.
would be like, hey, he said medium rare, and that is medium. Like, that's my wife.
That's
Like,
awesome.
no, I'm cool. Just stay. Don't worry about it.
Dude, I'm never sending my food back. It is what it is. But I'll
No.
never send food, and I'll never talk shit before I get my food. Just what do you people?
That's
think
why, and they tell you why, because some of the stickler balls in the miso.
Yeah, it's like, what are you thinking, dude? You take it. If it's not good, you move on. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't win them all. Let's just say that. Oh, Jake says if you know her background, I feel bad for her losing her livelihood, but not me. I mean, I'm kind of cold hearted that way. It's like all kinds of people have all kinds of rough upbringings, and all kinds of people find a way to get through it and not be completely horrible human beings. And Tori's on the track of being a horrible human being. Like she said, you kicked in my front door. Like you came to my house to look for a fight to beat up my kid. That's not okay in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, you got a rough life, but you need to find a better way of dealing with it.
Right.
That's the way I go down. And I never disrespect people who have my food. Yeah, you'd be a moron too. These people that just sit there and bitch and talk shit before they get their food, I just don't understand. You must just like pubic hair in your food. I don't get it. It's horrifying. But then we then flash over to PE and see the new kids got some decent handles. Nothing too flashy, but definitely enough to fly by LaRusso and make him look bad. But it was good to see like a young LaRusso in the gym. Like, got to keep that 50 off. I'm telling you, he's looking good.
Right, except for them big ass feet, man. Dude, that scene when they're running, like later on, he runs like a kid that's like not grown into his body yet. That's what I was talking about. In this scene, you can kind of see it's like all flat footed. Guaranteed he wears bigger shoes than I do. Like that's it. You'll notice it next time they show him. Dude, his feet gotta be like this big. He's gonna be
He got clown feet.
Dude, he's gonna be like 6'5".
Oh, what's up, Sammy Morningstar? Good to see you. It's been a while. Good to see you back, buddy. He said, "Not be there."
No, be there.
That is the best. Oh, we're gonna talk about it. But that little curly head's gonna get his at some point, right? Like I've already had enough of him.
Me too. And like, how about the fact that like, really, LaRusso is a bully, but he's a better person than he was when we first met him. Because he didn't like he wasn't mean to the kid right away. Like it was kind of his friends forcing him into it. But
he was kind of a dick on the bus. He was
talking yeah. But later,
LaRusso. But yeah, he didn't want to like get physical with it. He wasn't trying to take it to that next level like all the other little dickheads were.
So at least he's a better kid than what no, it even before that, even before the physical, when he was like talking on the game, it was like he kind of didn't want to go that far on the kid. So
and the way he was talking about it, he's obviously a fan of the game. He's obviously played it and knows what's going on. So I mean, doesn't that just show that him and Kenny are going to end up being friends by the end of this?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you can already see they have a lot in common. So I mean, they like the same girl, they like the same games, or same age. Like,
yeah, but how they like the same girl? That premise is why we have this show right now. So that's not necessarily true.
What's that?
That like that's gonna result in them being friends.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, just because I mean Daniel and Johnny are the exact same person and they hate each other. So, but deep down, I think they really love each other. And yeah, keeping it spoiler free. Samuel Morningstar. I'm just as usual going episode by episode, so I haven't seen anything farther than episode 2 yet.
As much as it pains me too.
Oh, it's amazing. It's the best way because that way you can guess.
No,
Like,
it's the worst way. Like I'm like, well, I wanna. Sometimes I'm bored. I want to watch like the rest of the episodes. I don't know.
no. Are you watching the Book of Boba Fett?
No,
Oh,
oh,
you're not the Star Wars guy. Yeah, that's what
I
I was
like
just.
Star Wars.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
thought you were the one. Yeah, I got that mixed up with somebody else. But yeah, we'll get into that later. But remember like side to side Johnny was really side to side Johnny really gonna forget those like detailed instructions. Like Daniel has to come out there and be so annoying, like side to side. Yep, just keep going side to side. It's like, dude, I heard you the first 3 times. Like, how annoying would that be? Like trying to train, listening to LaRusso tell you the same stupid things over and over again.
right. You get all mad just like Johnny did. This is another thing where he knows, like he would know about this stuff as a handyman. He's like, dude, you can't just spread paint on shit. Like that's not how it works. Doesn't that was funny to me. But
Oh, dude, yeah, that would drive. I would have been Johnny. That would have just drove me nuts. And I loved how Johnny was like all practical about it. Like, I could have knocked this out in 2 minutes with a paint sprayer and then telling them how it's not even the right way to do it. Like, you need a heat gun to get down to the base. I don't know, maybe a right angle scraper. Like, dude, Johnny was so Johnny in this episode. I loved it.
yeah, that was like that cracked me up.
Oh, literally laughing out loud. And how big a dick is Daniel? Like sitting there sipping a cold one, talking about, yeah, this is quality. He knows how much Johnny loves his beer. And then he's all like, oh, you missed a spot. Like, he's such an ass.
Yeah, but isn't that like part of it? Like if you think back to Karate Kid 1, he's like, this is bullshit. Like I'm sitting here painting fences and like washing cars. Like that's part of it. You need that frustration.
Oh, Johnny actually tried for a while. He was doing his best, but yeah, I mean, you can only put up with so much Daniel.
Dude, then he comes out, he's like, this is bullshit. He just takes a beer, he's like, fruit in your beer? Figures. Like, because it was a blue moon.
Exactly. Yeah, Miyagi didn't sit there and keep pitching on him. He just went fishing and left Daniel there to finish it. It's like he didn't sit there all annoying in his ear. Just, same thing. Back and forth, side to side. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, that was funny. And then it was such a great Johnny line, like fruit in your beer, figures. I was like, dude, this show had me cracking up. And then, but that was nice how like Danny chopped that bottle in half. Like that was pretty clean. And then he's like, nobody was more badass than Mr. Miyagi. And that basically worked and got Johnny back on script.
Yeah, he's like, fair enough.
It's like, show me something badass and I'll be all back in. But until you do, it's like, this is ridiculous. And Johnny's not the only one now learning Miyagi-Do. Back at Cobra Kai, Robbie's teaching it to the Quiver.
After 4 seasons, first season, it was funny. I'm losing it with your quiver jokes over here.
That's what it is. That's what they told. I'm just going by what they told us.
No, just kidding. Yeah. Yep, he sure is. But it's like a ditto. It's only like half-ass replication, right?
Like, what do you mean?
Like he's not even a master of Miyagi-Do. How is he gonna teach them all of the tenets of it?
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, it's not going to be nearly as in depth,
Right?
but he's going to give them the basics, which it'll definitely help a little bit. It's not going to hurt. It's going to help more than it hurts, I think. And he was pretty cocky, sneak sweeping Tori's leg like that with a big old smirk, right up until she flipped his ass over and was about to serve him up. If it wasn't for Kreese there to stop him, it's like, I don't know. I think she was about to let him have it.
Yeah, dude, he's too nice.
Who,
Like
Robbie?
I don't think he was doing it as like a cocky thing. He was just like, sorry, it's just part of the lesson. Like he's kind of flirting with her, and she's like, "Fuck that, motherfucker."
I think Snafu's on the same page with you. Not the biggest fan of the Robbies.
Here's why I don't like Robbie. Nothing against him, really. He just reminds me of the Green Ranger, and I freaking hate the Green Ranger so much. I hate the Green Ranger. This is a different story, but I hate him.
It was kind of weird seeing Kreese being a decent human being, trying to like be a father figure and a friend to Tori.
That's how he gets them.
Dude, the king of mind games. And then we see Kenny getting it from all sides. Like, he's new to school. He doesn't, the other kids are being mean. And then all of a sudden he's on the phone with his dad telling him it's time to man up. Like, then he thinks he finally catches a break. But no, it's just more BS kid crap. Like, this poor kid is going through it.
Yep. That sucks.
And then speaking of BS, like, how annoying would it be to have to listen again? Like, oh, yeah, the Daniel thing. Like, big circles, right circle, left circle, right circle. Like, I mean, every little thing he's going to train him, he has to just be super annoying like that. I don't know. Johnny made it longer than I would.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to respect a thing, then you got to respect it. Like, that's what it is. If you want to take it seriously, just do it.
Oh, it's just too much. But how great was Johnny's response when Daniel told him what Mr. Miyagi's best defense move was?
You know, he's like, dude, he's been teaching 400-year-old karate. You couldn't teach him a little English? That shit, I was dying.
Literally laughing out loud. Guy teaches you centuries of his ancient family karate. You can't even help him with his English? Like, don't go there, Johnny. That was amazing. So Johnny, so perfect.
You mean don't be there? Like that when he said, you mean don't be there? That shit. Oh man.
Best. He's like, and then back to Kenny thinking he's made a friend only to find out he's being played and cyberbullied. Like, and didn't she just know that that's what was really going on right then? Like, did you really think that was the girl talking to him, or did you really I just knew it was those kids messing with him.
Right. Me too.
And then Kreese tracks down Amanda at the grocery store to have a little chat about a student. And it was funny when she tried to call him out on the restraining order proximity, and he flipped it on her like, technically, you're the one in violation. Like,
I think how restraining orders work is they're both parties are like to it. If she was there, he can't like follow her around and do like a freaking magnet whose positives are lining up and just push her all over. Like, you have to be, you know, he has to respect it too if he knew. I think legally. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer though.
Oh, dude, that was pretty fantastic. But of course, Kreese wins with the mind games and actually has Amanda feeling sorry for Tori by the end of it. And like, I don't know, again, would you feel bad, like knowing what a little terror, like knowing that the terror that she had put your daughter through, would you really feel sorry for her knowing this, or just, I mean, I guess.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Like added stressors. Me personally, I would feel bad for her. I wouldn't make any excuses for her, but I would feel bad. But I'm not Amanda.
Right up until you remember that she brought a bunch of thugs to your house and tried to beat up your daughter twice.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would have felt bad for her. I'm not, like I said, I'm not Amanda. I would not have done anything about it. I've been like, okay, all this stuff is the reason she did that. I don't give a shit. She still did that.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't know, it'd be tough. I'd be cold-hearted on that. Like, you did not put your hands on my daughter. Are you kidding me?
We were talking about supervillain stuff. What about like Kreese walking away and he's like bites the apple and he like turns around like, sweet. Like, what? What was that about?
Oh, because he's crazy. Just to show he's as nuts as Tori is. And Daniel's actually going through with his Eagle Fang training. Like, you think he would have actually let Johnny blindfold him before taking him somewhere like that?
I mean, he probably realized, well, I put him through a bunch of crap yesterday, so I got to do it. I got to at least respect it.
I don't know. After all that, I don't know if I'm letting him put a blindfold on me and take me somewhere. That was kind of crazy. And I was dying when Johnny was like, he's like, we do not follow, we attack, like becoming who we were meant to be. And Daniel's like, yeah, what's that? And Johnny's all loud in his face, man. Weird. He had me cracking up when he was all serious going off on him. Even when he opened the door, like Daniel's like, that sounded as ridiculous out loud as I thought it would. And then Johnny all opens the door all serious. Like, dude, everything with these two together is amazing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the best. Them two together, him yelling at him. Daniel having like smart ass remarks like, you realize the coal's supposed to go in the forge, right? Like, this is all the freaking you're too good for freaking gas station food.
And yeah, and it really worked out because when he said that, like, you realize the coals are supposed to be shoveled into the forge, right? Like, Johnny's all quiet, like, don't question me, Newark. And then we find out, like, because we're so used to Johnny being wrong that we didn't even think about him actually having a reason and being right on this one. He knew exactly what he was doing. which we see
Right.
later.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool. Johnny's actually in the right of it this time. And even with the pitching machine, like, isn't this like a defending exercise? Johnny just screams out, no!
And like I like they did it gradually. He's like blocking, and then he starts like doing his like blocks, and then he starts like punching them as they come. Like I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's getting better, dude. The training montage was dope. So I was like, yeah, he's like, I need it. Like I said, I need a Cobra Kai t-shirt that says manliness is next to godliness, because he was just killing me this episode. Everything he said was just Johnny Gold.
You got to get it with the eagle fang, though.
Of course. Yeah, you got to have the Eagle Fang freaking logo over it. And it was actually cool to see like LaRosa get all pumped up after completing his first day at Eagle Fang. Like, yeah, like he's actually into it by the end. Like he saw like there is actually something to this.
And dude, it was so great. Like as it went, he's like, and then they went to the hockey, right? Right. Like how it sets up.
Oh, that's
yeah. Well, I just piggyback on what you say, so I'll let you go wherever you want.
Oh, feel it. Deep down, Daniel has always been a little has always had a little Cobra Kai in him.
He has. Like that's the thing. Is
Yeah,
the
maybe
first
that's
one
it.
he was hot-headed, and he was one of the people. He was naturally hot-headed. Johnny wasn't naturally hot-headed. Remember, like that's what happened. He went to Cobra Kai, and it gave him like the confidence and all this stuff. He wasn't that kid. Daniel was from the beginning, and he needed Miyagi to calm him down.
Absolutely. Exactly. And that's exactly how it worked out. And then we get back to poor little Kenny getting punked. And then he makes it worse when he breaks little Anthony's phone. And he decided that that would be a good time to practice some of that Miyagi-Do best defense by not being there. And he ran as fast as his little legs would take him.
Right?
It's like,
dude, that's what I was talking about. You see how slow LaRusso ran with those feet? Like
he just hasn't grown into him yet.
Right.
But what a twist seeing like Daniel's son being in the bully crowd that's actually chasing down the new kid in school the same way he was done. Like, I love how they just keep bringing this into like the full circle. It's like literally just the wheel going round and round with different characters. It's amazing. And I thought he'd be playing. I thought he'd be playing his best squirrel and hiding in that tree, but nay, he was sobbing in the dumpster. Like that was so sad.
Right.
But on a happier note, Johnny and Daniel decide to take in a game, but Johnny says training's not quite over and you just know it's about to get on. And then Johnny gets them all into a skirmish with some overexcitable hockey players and then dips to leave Daniel defend for himself.
Wait, the important lesson here is that Daniel provoked something initially. It's like, hey, I'm going to tattletale on you. Ref, that's this. That should be this. Okay. And then he argues with the guy. Daniel thinks he diffused the situation. And Johnny's like, that was his point. Sometimes your shit doesn't work. You think that like it worked, but it did not. That's why you end up with little girls coming over to your house and destroying your house. It's because your methodology, like to diffuse things, doesn't work. Sometimes you have to be the aggressor. You are muted. You're muted. Nobody can hear you.
It's like sometimes you got to strike hard, strike first, and show no mercy.
Right.
Absolutely. So Daniel, like you said, he tries to de-escalate the situation, but then they start talking about his wife, and well, every man does have his limits. Like it looks like it's time for Danny Boy to practice some of his newly learned Eagle Fang and strike first.
And that was a callback too, right? Like we talked about. It's like he said all these things like you might as well just let people share your wife with them, right? And then that was Johnny's line when he was training him in Miyagi. I mean, in Eagle Fang. Mm-hmm. Oh, and it came up again. That was the line. That was Daniel's line too. It was like, all right, yep. I guess sometimes you do got to strike first.
That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back that like made it all click. Like, wait a minute, maybe Johnny is just as maybe Eagle Fang is just as significant as Miyagi-Do in its own way. Because yeah, you're definitely. I mean, when it comes to taking on 5 guys, you're gonna want to strike first. That's definitely it.
Right.
But when that one guy grabbed Daniel and had his face like smushed up against the window, I still thought they were gonna have like show Johnny on the other side just chilling with a beer, like sipping on a beer.
That
That
would
would
have
have
been
been
funny.
epic. But it was even better. Daniel asked, like, "Where were you?" And Johnny just comes in eating a pretzel. No be there, and just
Right.
keeps it moving. Like that was just perfection.
Legendary.
That was great. It looks like Amanda kind of let her conscience get the best of her and tried to do a good deed. Like, was she out of her mind thinking Tori would actually accept that bag of groceries?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, maybe she would have begrudgingly accepted it, and maybe that's what she thought. Amanda's just trying to help. She felt bad, but Tori's like a crazy ass teenager. She ain't gonna see it that way.
No, I hate you. I hate your daughter. And you think a little bag of freaking bananas is going to make everything better? Like, get the hell out of here.
Right. That's the way she's gonna view it, but Amanda views it as I'm not asking for anything. I am just trying to do something to help.
Right.
Like I realize she just got fired and it might be a struggle. Here is something I can do to help. And then Tori's thinking, like, you think this is going to solve anything?
No, of course not. No way. And then Kenny almost sounded like he was writing a suicide note there at the end. I was like, that was a little dark. But then they pull it back around by introducing a past character. And we see that it is not a suicide note at all. It's actually Kenny visiting his big brother in jail, who is none other than Sean Payne, Robbie's old jailhouse nemesis. And it was like, he tells his brother not to worry about it. I got a guy who knows a thing or two and can help you out. I mean, unbelievable.
Right.
Yet
And that's
another.
my whole thing.
Go ahead.
Right. Like they're not gonna LaRusso's not gonna be friends because it was, right? Like LaRusso and Kenny aren't gonna be friends. It's just not gonna happen because he can't go to Eagle Fang and he can't go to Miyagi-Do because that's at like the LaRusso's place. So he's gotta go to Cobra Kai. So he's gonna end up there.
You're gonna be Cobra Kai's new star. And we already see he's a little athletic and got some skills, so he might be able to pick it up as fast as Robbie did.
Right.
Like just another spider web about to be spun as Daniel's ex-student is about to have a chat with Anthony and Daniel's son about bullying. And like, how devastated is Daniel gonna be when he finds out that his own son is now one of the bullies in town?
It's probably gonna kill him. Maybe he'll see that he's a bully too to Johnny, like that it flipped as they were adults.
Oh, Jake Cruz says maybe in a couple seasons they'll be buddies. Sean says I couldn't remember his name, but knew Robbie knew him. Yep, exactly. Like, yeah, that was his old jailhouse nemesis, and then they became friends. So obviously, Robbie's about to teach somebody else some Miyagi-Do, Cobra Kai. I wonder if he's going to come out with his own thing. Like him and Kreese get into it, and he comes out with his own Eagle Fang style, and then there's going to be 4 dojos in the house. That'd be crazy.
Maybe he just takes over Eagle Fang. Johnny goes back to Cobra Kai, and Eagle Fang really is just a combination of the two.
That'd be kind of sweet. That'd be kind of dope. Do you think by the end of this, they're all going to end up at the same dojo, or are they all just going to constantly be nemesis, and this is just going to be a thing moving forward?
I think it's just going to kind of be a thing moving forward.
That's what keeps the series alive and driving. Oh man, all in. Like I said, this episode reminded me of just how much I absolutely love this series. Like this is one of my all-time favorite series. I am all in.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the best episodes of the whole series too.
Yeah, exactly. The back and forth and the different training and the spider webs that are spun and the bringing it back around. And now Daniel's son's the bully chasing the new kid in town, like over fences, and everything about this just absolutely epic. Loving it. Oh man. Jake Cruz wants to know how many seasons you think we'll get. God, I hope at least 10. Just keep it coming. I need more of
it. 5. Okay, so every show goes downhill after 5 seasons. I can't even, like, they all start to go downhill after 5 seasons. So 5, hopefully.
There you go. And he says 5. But that's going to do it for this episode. Like I said, absolutely loved it. See, just real quick, got a couple trivia questions. See if anybody remembers what happened and how much you retained out of this show. If you know the answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching this later, write them in the comments down below. What did the bully on the bus call the dance Kenny was doing when they rolled up?
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
No, if people are going to answer in the comments.
Oh, you can answer. Go ahead. You might be right, might be wrong.
Which one? LaRusso, like the don't poop your pants dance or whatever he called it?
No,
Or the
right
other
when they
one?
pulled up, they said they called it a dance.
Oh, I don't know.
They had a specific name for it. If you know that, write in the chat box or write it in the comments down below later. Number 2, what did Johnny compare the deck to after he sanded it?
I already said that. Smurf's butt.
Smooth as a Smurf's ass. Absolutely. You said that earlier. I was cracking up. Like, what was the little girl's name that Anthony and Kenny both liked?
That's the one. You need to give questions that I will not know the answer. I didn't know Kenny's name until we were in this episode.
Talking about it.
Yeah, talking about it. I didn't know him.
Absolutely. And then especially his brother's name. Like, wait, what? Cobra Kai was trending number 1 since it released. I'm going to go with 7. They already filmed season 5. 7 seasons. That sounds pretty accurate. Could be 8. I'm going to go with 8. You say 7. I'm going to say 8.
I'm going to say it's going to go downhill after 5.
He's like, just like every other show does.
They all do.
He says, everyone, there hasn't been a minute. Absolutely. Keeping it moving. What was the name of the video game Kenny was playing when the episode opened?
Oh,
What was the name of the video game Kenny was
Kingdoms
playing?
and Dungeons, I think. Something like that.
Close. It's in there. You know that one? Write it in the comment section or write it down below. They're what, juniors? So at least 2 more All Valleys? Absolutely. That's what it's all about, bringing it back to the All Valley tournament. Kids tournament.
Imagine like starting a car dealership, like because you won a karate tournament.
Exactly. Hey, whatever's going to make money. Put your name and keep it moving. And then, yeah, they're always chopping prices and doing I'll kick the competition. Like, yeah. He's like, hey, isn't that karate guy that owns the auto? Like,
That's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, he won like a couple karate championships like 3 decades ago, and he's got a dealership.
Hey, he's living it. He made the most of that situation. Here's an easy one. What did Mr. Miyagi say was the best defense in karate?
Nobody there.
Absolutely. Where did the bullies tell Kenny to go dressed up in cosplay?
The park or something, whatever park they were.
It was a park. It's I'll even say this one. It was Balboa Park. I was like, I like that callback. Sick Balboa Park.
Oh, did they read that or did he say it out loud?
They said it out loud a couple times.
Oh.
So tell him to go to Balboa Park. Yeah, they said it a couple times. So yeah, that was amazing. Who was Kenny's favorite character in Dungeon Lord?
It's Mr. Scribblebottoms.
Dr. Scribblebottoms. Feel it? What did the curly hair bully mistakenly call Kenny's favorite character in the game?
Crinkle ass or something like that. Scribble ass, scribble butt, something like that.
That was close. Butt. You guys remember what they called him? Oh, Johnny's a 2-time champ as well, and he didn't quite fare out as well as Daniel did. He doesn't have any car dealerships under his name.
Yeah, because it's not how it starts; it's how it finishes.
There you go.
Right? Like you won 2 in a row, and then you lose 2. Guess it don't matter.
Like bad times, you got to be the champ. Only the champ. You got to leave on top. You can't go back and lose.
Right.
Oh, what specialty item did Amanda ask for in the store?
Some Gouda.
Some Claire milk truffle Gouda. Absolutely.
I don't even know what that is, but
it sounds fancy.
Yeah.
What did it say on the wall when Johnny pulled Daniel's mask off?
Oh, shit. I don't know. I wasn't looking at the background.
And last but not least, where's Daniel originally from?
New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey. Bringing it back. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. We got a few of them on that one. But yeah, that's definitely going to do it. Like I said, I am all in on this one. This episode, I agree with you, one of the best ones they've ever had. Like this, it had me back in hook, line, and sinker, and I can't wait to get on and watch the 3rd episode. Like, this season's trending in all the right ways.
I might go watch it right now.
I'm telling you, I got to watch that and then go watch the 3rd episode of Book of Fett. I hated the first episode, but the second one was dope. So we'll see where the 3rd one goes. But that's going to do it for us on this one. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and everybody that watches later. And I hope everybody's having an absolutely fantastic week. And it only gets better from here. Till we see you next Wednesday, everybody. Be easy.